Hello, I'm Alex and I'm here with Craig today and we are going to look at Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2 on the Switch.
hmm We are. I've had the pleasure of replaying the games finally again. Although, I didn't actually finish the first one when I first played it, but the second one I played through on that wonderful Wii U. So I've had the codes for a little while now. So why not let you guys know what we actually think of it again?
Or for the first time if you're new to the Bayonetta franchise and want to pick them up and see what they're like. So can you tell us what are the big differences that you're noticing on the Switch
Uh,
versus the previous?
I mean, to be honest with you, like they're pretty much virtually identical. If you played Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2 before, there isn't too much difference. For me personally, it was wonderful to play Bayonetta 1 in a way where the performance wasn't terrible, because the only place that I played Bayonetta 1 previously was on the PS3, and that performance was horrible. And I never got the 360 version or the Wii U version in order to play a better version. Again, of Bayonetta. So on the Switch, both games run at a very smooth 60 frames per second. It's only 720p, but for me, and I'm not really a techie kind of person, so I know some of you out there would have wanted this at 1080p, but I mean, I was very much happy with 60 frames per second and 720p. Hopefully, you can see from my terrible controls and fighting on the video here that it's all pretty smooth. There's no issues whatsoever. So
How did it affect like your loading times?
that's, do you know, it was a good thing that you bring that up. Actually, the load time is actually so quick that it kind of renders the practice of the older versions before. So on the older versions, you'd have the loading screen. You'd have, a good like 10, 20, 30 seconds to practice your combos on it, and that. On the Switch version, you haven't got a second sometimes. It's maybe 2 seconds maximum.
Yeah, I don't think I've even had the chance to. So going on from the performance side, what can we get with our amiibos? Are
Um,
they compatible?
well, can we just point out what's happening on the screen at the minute right now? Obviously, Bayonetta 1 and 2 on the Wii U came with different Nintendo costumes. Because why wouldn't things end up with different Nintendo costumes these days? Because that's just the way it goes. Ever since the Rabbids thing, everything's fair game, I guess. So, Bayonetta 1, you can freely choose whatever Nintendo costumes you want to. Bayonetta 2, you can unlock them the normal way, like you could on the Wii U version. But you can use, I think it's up to 32 amiibos a day.
32.
32 to
Wow.
get different costumes, so you don't have to unlock them. I'm not 100% sure if they unlock other things. I've only just started going through Bayonetta 2. We've
Yeah,
gone through the
still on one.
entirety. Yeah. I've gone through the entirety of Bayonetta 1 on the Switch, which was wonderful. Um, so yeah, that's kind of the amiibo kind of thing with the costumes. Obviously, Samus there as well. So
Peach.
yeah, there's Peach. I mean, it's if you've played the game before, it's not a reason to pick it up again, but it's a nice to have rather than a have to have.
Something
So
fun.
yeah, no, definitely.
So obviously with the Switch, we can play in handheld mode now. What are the main differences between playing in handheld and just normally with your TV?
The you can now play Bayonetta on the go. It sounds really obvious to say it like that, but you like literally can't put it as bluntly as that. And it's the Switch's main selling point, and it's if you want to play Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2 again, both are absolutely fantastic games. According to the embargo, I can't give the two a review score right now, but I'm sure there may be other reviews out there of of the previous versions that aren't going to vary too much off of what these two new games are going to come to. They're both absolutely fantastic, wonderful games, and playing them both in handheld mode is it's great. It's great. This is why 2018 exists, I guess, the year of the Switch.
Yeah, the
Or was
Switch is
last year the year of
definitely.
the Switch? I don't know.
Well, it's hard to say at the moment.
Yeah, but the one thing I will say about the handheld mode for both games is there are now touch controls. Which
Yeah, how do you find them?
off the top of my head, I'm not sure if the Wii U version had them. I should probably check that, maybe. But I don't know, they're weird.
So I've quite enjoyed them. I haven't
Okay.
played Bayonetta though before, and I am quite enjoying them myself.
Did you used
Like doing
to,
the dodging.
Yeah, just to
The swipe.
explain, you kind of swipe the screen to dodge, and it's like tap to attack,
Yeah.
and then Bayonetta will kind of move depending on where you are. I don't know. I prefer having better control, especially with evading, because evading normally is on just ZR. So you
But I
tap
found the
ZR.
evading easier with the touch control.
That's crazy talk.
I guess my fingers are quicker at tapping than they are at pressing.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. But...
I mean, it's again the touchscreen control. It's a nice to have rather than a have to have. You know, it's there. If you want to use it, it's absolutely fine. If I reckon most people won't.
Yeah, probably not. No.
Who knows?
So would you say for these games, this is the best version that anyone is going to play of them on the Switch?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any doubt. It comes at the. I mean, we had a little preview go up on portregime.com, which visit the site by the way. And it was just me kind of saying that this is the perfect time for these two games to come out. The Switch's release library, there's a bit of a gap in it at the minute in terms of February. So,
not too much.
I mean, even for those who played Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2 a long time ago, I mean, let's remember Bayonetta came out in 2010, I believe, so it's almost a decade old. So it's a good time to jump in. They're great games. They're not terribly long. There's light puzzle elements, but as you can see from the kind of video here, it's a bit of action, bit of fighting, bit of that kind of stuff, and they're wonderful pick up and play games because of the way they are chapter based essentially. So you can pop in, do a 10-minute chapter. I mean, this guy he's quite big.
Just a little bit.
just a little bit. Amazingly, he's probably quite small compared to a lot of the bosses later on. But yeah, I will say, Bayonetta 2 is so much better than Bayonetta 1.
Yeah, why?
It's more colourful. No, I just think it's a more complete game. I think it's more concise, but that's more review territory.
Well, I mean, obviously it came out after Bayonetta, so they had kind of chance to kind of look how that came out and change things like adding more colour in it.
Yeah, but if you've got a Switch, you should definitely have these two on your radar.
Okay, thank you for that, Craig. You can get your hands on both of these games from February the 16th, and please make sure to check out portregime.com on February the 14th for our full review of both of the games.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Yeah, let's end it on that. Good night. Good night, everyone. Sleep tight.